y'all. So this is going to be Kinstretch today for knee rotation and also ankle eversion, eversion. Okay, so you see all the tools today are optional. I'll show you guys both just depending on how comfortable you are. So you see I have a strap on each side. It's just so when I switch from inversion to eversion, you can see both. Um, Here, and then optionally, if you need, like, I have this wedge for an option for eversion and inversion for the ankle. um, if you have like a small book or a pillow or something that you can go or put your ankle up on if you can't reach it with your hand, and I'll explain that more when we get there, feel free. But we're going to start with some warm-up cars. Okay, just knees and ankles today. So grab that hamstring. We're going to rotate out, extend, in, down. And then keep it in, straight back up, out, down. Just go one more each. Up, boom. And then straight back up, out, down. Okay, now grab the shin. Now we don't want to rotate that lower leg. We're just going to go 2 ankle cars, down, in, up. Spread the toes, peel them as you come down. Once more, up, spread, out, peel. And let's take it back, down, out, up, spread, peel them together once more. And perfect. Okay, let's switch it up. So grab the hamstring, lower leg is moving together. Let's rotate out, extend, in, down. Keep it there, up, rotate out, down. Once more each. And perfect. Okay, grab the shin, 2 ankle cars here, down, in, spread as you come up, peel them together as you go out. Once more. And let's take it back, down, out, spread as you come up, peel. Once more. And perfect. Okay, so you see we're going to do everything on one side, knees and ankles, and then everything on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to use this strap first for eversion, which is out this way. If you can grab here, you can also do that, but I have learned it's kind of hard for a lot of people just to get into a comfortable position here. So what you're going to do is I'm going to strap this to my foot here, and then I'm just going to rotate out and then just move my body accordingly, so I'm at my max in range of that rotation of my knee. So you see my foot is as far out this way as it can go. Okay, so foot can be either on the ground or up, just depending on if you want more ankle dorsiflexion or not. Okay, but you should feel a nice stretch here, here. Pails and rails, think like the heel is driving super duper heavy. So pails, you're gonna rotate into the band or your hand. Rails, you're trying to rotate that whole shin away. Okay, so we're gonna start with just 1 light pails and rails, 2 a bit harder, and then we're gonna do some active liftoffs and switch to inversion. Okay. Okay, so here we go. First one, big breath in, drive the heel, 20% max effort. Just barely rotate that foot, big toe into the band or hand, whatever you're using. So again, very important to keep the heel nice and heavy here, because now you're gonna get as much hip contraction as you can. You should ideally feel it bleeding up into your groin a little bit, but you should really feel it on the inside of that shin, all those muscles. and slowly relax. Okay, now rails. 3, 2, 1. Very light. Drive the heel, and now I'm trying to rotate the foot away from the band this way. Okay. So one thing that can help if you can reach, just try to push your foot back this way, and don't let yourself. So hold that contraction by driving the heel into the ground, and now that should give you a nice, good contraction on the outside of your glute area. Also here, the outside of the shin is where the focus is. But they said if you're doing it right, you should also feel it driving up into your hips. So she's just nice and light. 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay. So now if you can, walk yourself out a little bit. Let the band rotate you in just a little, or rotate you out just a little bit more. Okay. We got 2 more sets. These 2 we're gonna shoot to ramp up to our max safest effort. Okay. All right. So here we go. Big breath in. We're gonna slowly ramp. Start to drive the heel, rotate into the band or your hand. 20% max effort. 40, 60, 80. Max safest effort. Hold. I'm gonna go 15 seconds on this first one. Keep that tension best you can. You should feel that inner thigh, inside of the shin. Keep rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, rails. 3, 2, 1. Now drive the heel and try to rotate away from the band. Or if you're using that feedback from your hand, try to push your foot back in towards your midline, but maintain that position. Hold that tension best you can. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, take a couple recovery breaths. I guess I didn't mention this before, but if you are not comfortable in this position as well, feel free to like sit up on a block or even a chair, honestly, since we're just focusing on that tibial rotation right now, okay? Okay, one more here, then we're gonna do some lift offs, and then we're gonna switch to inversion, do the same thing, okay? Okay, so if you guys are ready, here we go. Big breath in. We're just going to hold this last one for 10 seconds. Start to drive the heel. Think about rotating that whole shin, foot into that band, 20%. 40, 60, 80. Here we go. Max safest effort. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Now you're trying to rotate that whole shin, foot off of the band and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, so now you're going to walk yourself in just a little bit, or if you're using your hand, just rotate. So I guess I'll do here. So if you have been using your hand, just rotate it in just a little bit. So now you can actually lift off of the hand or the band. Okay? So stay right there. Hopefully, if you guys can see me, I'll just use this as my base, like I'm lifting off of this fist. Okay? So drive the heel, and then rotate the whole shin and hold and relax. 3 more like that. Then we're going to hold for 10 seconds. Drive the heel. Rotate the whole shin as much as you can. Relax. So ideally, the leg is not moving, or the upper leg's not moving, just the lower leg is rotating. Okay? So 2 more. Good tension. Drive the heel. Rotate. Fight. 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 Relax. Okay, we're holding this one for 10 seconds. So good tension. Drive the heel, rotate and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, so that external rotation done for the knee. Now we're gonna move to internal rotation. Okay, so again, if you are using that heel or that hand, we're good. You're just gonna rotate the heel or the whole shin in this way. Okay, so pails are gonna be driving into the hand, rails trying to rotate off of the hand or the band. Okay, I guess I'll do this one with my hand. Okay, and then I'll switch for the other side. Okay, so again, if you are strapped in, you'll just strap it in here. Walk yourself until that ankle is fully rotated, or the shin is. Okay, so right here, I'm going to start with just this light pails contraction. So pails, drive the heel, and I'm barely rotating the whole shin into my hand, just 20% max effort. So you really feel that glute nice and fired up now. This is nice and light, just enough to feel that tension for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, now rails, heel heavy. Now I'm trying to rotate that foot off of the hand now, so back towards me this way. Again, if you need some feedback, just use that hand. Try to push that foot away and hold your position by driving that heel. And that should help you with a nice deep contraction somewhere in that shin, hip, glute area. Again, this one's just nice and light. Do your best to not flex the foot at all. That's just going to get your ankle involved. And you're really trying to get that shin glute area involved here more. And slowly relax. Okay. You can rotate it in just a little more. Now we have two. Whoa. Two max safest effort. There's just a nasty echo. Okay, here we go. So big breath in. Heel heavy, start to rotate that whole shin into the hand or band, 20%, 40, 60, 80, max effort, hold. So again, 15 seconds here, last 10. You should really feel that glute nice and fired up. Heel heavy, rotating out into the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, rails, 3, 2, 1. Drive the heel. If you're using feedback, try to push that foot away from you, but hold the position and just keep the heel super heavy. That really helps when we're working on that tibial rotation here. Keep that tension for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whoo. This side's intense. Okay, one more. Okay, and then we're gonna do some lift offs here. Then we'll do some cars and switch to ankles on this side. Okay, so last one. Big breath in. Drive that heel. Start to rotate the whole shin outwards into the hand, 20%, 40, 60, 80, max effort, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Rails, 2, 1. I'll try to rotate off the hand and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay, now similar. Rotate that leg out a tiny bit. So I'll use this as my base. So now I'm rotating the whole shin off of the hand as much as I can. Okay? So drive the heel. And now I'm rotating as much as I can in and relax. 3 more. Heel heavy. Try to rotate the whole shin best you can. Not the upper legs. You should really still feel the glute though. Good tension out here. Relax. 2 more. Heel heavy. Rotate rotate, relax. Last one here. We're nice and active for 10 seconds. Drive the heel, rotate, rotate, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Ooh. Okay, 2 knee cars on that side. Rotate. Boom. Good. And then keep it right there. And nice. Okay, so I think I said we're going to do everything on one side, but let's actually match the knee, and then we'll end with the ankles. Okay, since we're already in that zone. Okay, so I'll just switch how I do this one. First one, we're going to work on the external rotation here. Okay, so if you're using your hand, just place it right here. Feel that nice stretch. Okay, again, if you're on that band or strap, you'll just load up here and then walk yourself out until you get that full rotation and you're using that band. Okay. Okay. So here we go. We'll start with our light pails here. So find your in range. Good tension. Drive the heel. And then try to barely rotate that full shin foot into that hand. So again, it's just nice and light. Just feel a good contraction through that inner groin, inside of the shin area. But just keep that keep that heel super duper heavy into the ground, and that's going to give you a good connection with your hip and your entire, or with your entire kinetic chain of your hip. Okay, let's slowly relax on that first pails. Now rails, drive the heel, and try to barely, if you're using your hand, try to push that foot back and don't let yourself. So heel heavy, you should feel a good contraction again through that groin, glute area, outside of the shin now as well. But again, just keep that heel extremely heavy and try to keep the ankle soft because the focus is in the lower leg, not the ankle yet. That comes later. And slowly relax. Okay, let's see if you can rotate that thing out just a little bit. Now we're shooting 2 max effort, max safest effort. First one, 15 seconds. Okay? All right, so here we go. Big breath in. Heel heavy. Start to rotate that whole lower leg, foot in to the hand, 20%, 40, 60, 80. Max effort, hold. Breathe for 10 seconds. Keep that tension into the hand. Feel that inner groin. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 2, 1. Now try to rotate off the hand, or if you're using feedback, try to push that in and hold your position. With that heel super duper heavy. I can't stress that enough. 10 seconds. Keep rotating, keep rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, see if you can get that thing out just a little bit more. Couple recovery breaths here. And then we got one more set. Okay, here we go. Big breath in. Brace the core. Let's start to drive the heel, rotate the foot, lower leg into the hand, 20%, 40, 60, 80. Here we go. Max safest effort. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Rails, 2, 1. I'll try to rotate that foot off, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, I'll turn just a little bit so you guys can see. So I'm going to rotate the foot in just a tiny bit. Place the fist here. So now I'm rotating off of that hand a little bit. Okay? Okay, 4 reps. Last one, 10-second hold. So drive the heel. Slowly rotate the full shin off as much as you can. Hold. And relax. 3 more like that. Heel heavy. Rotate that whole lower leg, not just the foot. Rotate. Really feel that groin glute fired up. Relax. 2 more. Rotate. Each time trying to get a little bit more range of motion. Rotate. Rotate. Relax. Okay, 10 seconds here. So drive the heel. Fight for as much as you can. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Whew. Okay, so now we're gonna switch and do inversion of the knee, and I'm gonna use the strap for it. Okay. Okay. So right out here. So we're gonna use that strap instead of the hand here. So you're gonna let that band pull you in as much as you can. Okay. So we're gonna start with this light pails here. So drive the heel, pails, slightly rotating out into the band right now. 20% max effort. So you should really feel that ankle or that heel. Excuse me. You should really feel that glute, heel nice and heavy. I messed up, so I got a little thrown off track, so apologies for that, but we're back on now. Okay. Slowly relax. Okay, baby rails. So drive the heel. Now you're trying to rotate off the band slightly. Again, if you have use some feedback, try to pull this hand or the foot in, but don't let yourself. Again, keeping that heel super duper heavy. Yeah, the inner thigh should be nice and fired up here. And let's slowly relax. Okay, see if you can walk yourself out just a little bit. Put yourself into a little bit more stretch. And now we're going to shoot for max safest effort, 15 seconds. All right, here we go. So big breath in, brace the core, drive the heel, start to rotate that whole lower leg out into that strap or hand, 20%, 40, 60, 80, max safest effort, hold. 10 seconds, keep rotating, keep that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Whew. Okay, rails, 2, 1. Now you're trying to rotate off of that strap or hand and hold. Feel free to use some feedback if you are having trouble feeling your contraction here. I have it pretty good on this side. Just keep that tension, keep rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, a couple recovery breaths. See if you can walk yourself out just a tiny bit more before this last one. Okay. So here we go. Big breath in. heel heavy. Start to rotate out into that band, 20%, 40, 60, 80. Max effort, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 2, 1. I'll try to rotate that foot in and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, now you're just going to move in a little bit. So now you should actually be able to rotate off the band slightly. Okay. So 4 reps, last one, 10-second hold. Okay, so drive the heel, rotate that whole leg in as much as you can and hold. Ooh, relax. 3 more, heel heavy, rotate, rotate, relax. 2 more, drive, rotate, own that tension here. So we're not trying to flex that foot, really the lower leg, so that glutes extremely fired up. Relax. Okay, 10 seconds here. Drive the heel. Here we go. Rotate and fight for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Ooh. Okay, now we're gonna hit these knee cars here before we move to ankles. So boom. Oh yeah, that feels much better after doing both. Excuse me. Boom. Perfect. Okay, ankles now. All right, so I'll do one side with my hand, and I'll do the other side on the wedge, or if you're using a block or a book or just something elevated, just so you can see the difference on both. Okay, so first let's start. So this is eversion away. This is inversion in. Okay, so let's first start with inversion. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my foot, pull it here, just however you can get comfortable. Even if you're here, you can have like a knee or a block on your knee to be comfortable. You can be seated as well. Okay, but however you can actively pull your foot into eversion or your ankle, that's how we're gonna work it. Okay, so I'm working right here. So pails, I'm trying to rotate back out this way. Okay, rails, I'm trying to scoop my foot up off my hand this way. So I can also give myself some feedback here, which I'll show you. Okay. All right, so pull that foot into inversion. And now we're gonna start with the light pails. So big breath in. And now I'm just gonna try to scoop my pinky toe down and in my hand just at 20% max effort. And you should feel like a nice contraction, like somewhere out here in that glute. Bleeding up from that ankle, just nice and light here, pails. So a lot of times we just think about dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, but injuries most happen here, especially in the ankles and the knees, honestly, rotation. Okay, slowly relax. Now baby rails, now I'm trying to scoop, I'm trying to pull my foot into more inversion here. Okay, so now I'm almost trying to think like my pinky toe is trying to come off of my hand, okay? Super light. Light here though is pretty intense. Like I feel it all the way up here. So less is more, okay? Just keep that tension. And let's slowly relax. Okay, so we're only going to do one max effort set here. We are going to try to ramp a bit harder on this one and then hold about 20 seconds and then one more for 10. Okay, so here we go. Big breath in and pails. Try to rotate down into that hand, 20%. double that tension, 40. A little bit harder, 50. Hold. So just breathe. Hold that tension best you can. You got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails, 2, 1. Now I'm trying to scoop my foot up off of my hand now. Almost like you're trying to scoop your foot off the ground, but just think the ankle lengthen up. So if you do feel it bleeding up to your glute hip, that's even better. It means you got a full contraction here. Just hold that tension. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay. And ideally, you are trying to get a little bit more range of motion after every isometric. Okay. So just pull that thing up a little bit more if you can. And we got one more set, max effort, and then we're gonna go right into inversion. Okay, so this is gonna be max safest effort here. Okay, so here we go. Big breath in. Start to rotate that foot down into the hand, 20%, 40, 60, 80. Max safest effort. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whoo. Rails. 2, 1. I'll try to scoop that foot off of the hand this way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And slowly relax. Ooh, man, if you've never done that before, it's pretty intense. Okay, let's switch to inversion, okay? So this one will be a little bit more awkward. Okay, so I'm gonna grab with my hands here. Okay. I guess I should have showed the first. So sorry, if you are using this inversion or eversion, what we were just doing is gonna be like this. So that pales trying to drive the foot down into the ground, rails, trying to scoop it. I just messed that up. Pales, driving the big toe down into the ground. Rails, trying to scoop it up like this. Okay? So same thing that we just did. And then inversion is what we're about to do right now. Here. Okay? Similar. Pales, trying to drive the pinky toe now down towards the ground. Rails, trying to scoop it up. Okay? All right, but I'll finish this one here. So inversion, pull that up as much as you can. Let's start with our baby pails. So the pinky toe is slightly driving down into my hand, 20% max effort. So this could also mimic internal rotation of the hip too. So if you feel it in that hip, again, not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But because of the position of the ankle, that's how we're focusing on it. And slowly relax. Okay, rails. Now I'm trying to peel that pinky toe off the hand. 2, 1. Super duper light on these. So you really feel like now the outside of the glute, trying to scoop that thing up this way. And slowly relax. Okay, you can pull yourself up a little bit more there. Okay, this one's about 50% max effort. So big breath in. Start to drive that, try to get that pinky toe closer to the ground. Whole outside of that foot, 20%. 40, double that tension. Bit harder, 50, hold. And also think like you're trying to pull up with the outside of the hand and hold your position with that foot. Yeah, that makes it a bit more intense. So just breathe, hold that tension. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails, 2, 1. Try to scoop off of that hand, hold. Super duper light. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. One more. Max safest effort. Then we're going to just do some axials and cars. Switch to the other side, and that'll be a wrap. Okay, so here we go. One more here. So let's start with that pails. Big breath in. Start to drive the outside of that foot down into the ground. 20, 40, 60, 80. Max safest effort. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. Now I'm trying to scoop the outside of the foot off the hand. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, so now we just have some axial rotations, inversion, eversion, and then 2 ankle cars. Okay, so if my foot's nice and strong and straight, I'm gonna go in, just try to move the ankle out. Good. In, out. One more each, in, out. And then 2 cars. And then take it right back, down. Make sure you're trying to spread the toes. And nice. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. So this one I'm going to do the opposite. Okay. Okay, so again, we'll start with eversion here. So you see I have this wedge. If you have a book, just your toes might be on the ground. If this doesn't feel intense enough, just like walk your foot forward a little bit and soften your knee, and that should get a bit more intense. Okay. So again, we're just going to start with this light pails here. So pails, you're going to just drive that big toe down into the ground. Just 20% max effort, super light. Okay, so just breathe, hold that tension straight into that, whatever you're using. And slowly relax. Okay, now rails, try to scoop the foot up off the ground. So you're trying to slide the outside of the feet are super heavy. You're trying to get the whole inside of your foot off of the ground or the elevation that you're using. Okay, so the standing wise, you should really feel the inside of the thigh a bit. It's almost like you're trying to force a bow. Whoo, yeah, that was a good cue. Just breathe, hold that tension, nice and light. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, and after each one here, just see if you can soften the knee a little bit more or walk forward a little bit more. That's just going to pull that hip into a bit more hip extension. Now we're going to try about 50% max effort on this one. Okay, so big breath in. Start to drive that foot down into the ground, big toe, 20%, 40, a little bit harder, 50, and hold. So just breathe, keep that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. Now try to scoop the big toe inside the foot off the ground. Remember, exaggerate the bow of that entire leg. Breathe and squeeze. Really feel the glute, inner thigh working here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whew. Okay, one more here. Try to get a little deeper into that stretch. Now we're going to go max safest effort, 10 seconds. Then we'll switch to inversion, okay? Okay, here we go. So big breath in. Start to drive the big toe. Heel nice and heavy, 20%. 40, 60, 80. Max effort, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whoo. Rails. 2, 1. I'll try to scoop that foot down and up. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And slowly relax. Whoo. Can't tell which one I like better. I feel like I get more force standing, but personally I feel it a bit more using my hand for feedback. Okay, last one, inversion. So we're just gonna switch that. Just gonna check this real quick. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just switch if you're using that book or whatever elevation that you're using. And now we're gonna go straight to inversion here, okay? Okay, so similar, walk forward until you get a nice stretch, soft knee. You want that heel on the ground. So we're gonna start with the light pails. So big breath in. Now again, try to just drive that pinky toe now straight down, heel heavy into the ground. 20% max effort. Okay, so that glute should be nice and fired up here. Just keep that light tension for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, rails. Now try to scoop the pinky toe now away from your midline, up off of that block, and hold. Again, super light. You're still trying to maintain that bow position, so you don't want to be like letting that knee drive in a whole bunch. Just think down and out of that ankle. Just breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whew. Okay, 2 more. Okay, so here we go. Big breath in. Brace the core. Start to get that pinky toe, heel nice and heavy. 20. Double that tension. 40. A little bit harder. 50. Hold. Good. Just breathe and hold that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Whew. Rails. 2, 1. I try to scoop that pinky toe outside of the ankle off the ground. Force yourself into more inversion here. You should feel length through the calf, slight contraction through the glute. Keep rotating for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, last one, y'all. You can walk yourself forward a little bit, soften that knee. Take a couple recovery breaths. And then this is going to be max safest effort. Okay, here we go. Big breath in, brace the core, and here we go. Start to drive that pinky toe down, 20%, 40, 60, 80. Max effort, hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails, 2, 1. Try to drive that big toe off that block and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Whew. Okay, let's just end with these axials and cars, okay? So nice and strong and straight. We're gonna go in like this as much as you can with the ankle. Out. 2 more each. In. Out. And last one. In. Out. 2 ankle cars. And then take it back. And nice. That's a wrap. Apologies for that little mishap in the middle. Hopefully it didn't mess you up too much. Hopefully you were able to follow along and feel these pretty good. But just leave any questions, comments you have under, and I can do a better job of explaining or showing some drills or anything that will help you tap into that rotational tissue of the knees and ankles.